Good morning, lovely. It's Rachel here from Renutrition. So today I'm going to continue with my mood boosting method series, and the next step in that process is called Restore. So this is all about rest and relaxation and supporting our mental health in that way. So our mood can be completely affected by stress. So symptoms like anxiety, depression, insomnia, fatigue, IBS, that kind of things, frequent infections, all signs that stress might be affecting our mental health. Similarly, a lack of sleep can be detrimental to mental health and vice versa. So rest and relaxation are really important for mood stability. And although many of us, myself included, probably don't prioritise enough time for that. So with that in mind, I thought I would share some of my top tips for R&R. So the first one then is all about actually identifying and managing stress. So stress can come in many forms, particularly as we live in a modern Western world. Some of those stresses are obvious, so psychological or emotional stress, stressful work life, stressful home life, feelings of overwhelm, grief. They're all pretty obvious stresses that we all have to deal with at one time or another in our lives. But also there are less obvious stresses. So things like information overload can be a stressor, or if you've got poor nutrient status, that can be a stress on the body itself, as can excess stimulant use. So if you're running on stress and using kind of sugar, alcohol or coffee as a coping mechanism, that's just all adding onto the stress burden in the body. So it's just about taking a step back and identifying what stresses you have going on. And the second tip is all about relaxation. So do you prioritise relaxation time? And by this, I don't mean sitting in front of the TV and binging on a Netflix, although obviously there is room for that as part of a healthy, balanced lifestyle. What I mean is actually setting time aside for relaxation. So some of the things that I like to do, for example, are yoga. Yoga's been shown in the research to enhance levels of our calming neurotransmitter GABA in the brain, which is super helpful. Or things like breath work, so mindful practices like breath work, journaling and gratitude have all been shown to lower stress levels and create a positive mindset. And interestingly, I recently undertook a breathwork course with the lovely Kirsty Constance coach, and it was just eye-opening for me in terms of, I was fascinated and amazed to learn how using our breath can be used to not only channel energy in the morning, but also to kind of find calm later in the day, and also to help us get to sleep. So that's also a really useful technique. Similarly, meditation can also be used to reduce stress and improve mental health. So meditation does take time to perfect, and I am the first to admit that I can struggle with this sometimes, and I haven't yet quite mastered the art, but my advice would be to just give it a go and start small. So if you can just kind of use an app or follow someone live and just do like 1 or 2 minutes, and that's going to just kind of that's taking the first step. And then practice, because the brain is a muscle like anything else. So you wouldn't attempt a marathon on your first run. The same is true for meditation. But just give it a go. And other things that will help then for relaxation are things like drinking herbal teas. So green tea, there's a unique amino acid in green tea called L-theanine, which has been shown in the research to lower stress and anxiety levels. And then chamomile tea, everybody knows that chamomile tea is good for relaxing. And again, it's been shown in clinical trials to have overall well-being properties, and also to improve sleep quality, which is good. And then, taking a bath can just be a nice way to relax. It signals to your brain it's time to wind down and also to prepare for sleep. And then using something like Epsom salts, which are magnesium sulfate in a bath, can have additional benefits. So magnesium deficiency and depression levels have a strong association with one another. So kind of by adding those magnesium salts to your bath, that may also be a way to alleviate those symptoms and reduce risk. So that also brings me nicely into tip number 3, which is all about getting a good night's sleep. So practicing sleep hygiene can be, really helpful when it comes to getting a good night's sleep and support positive mental health. So this is all about that wind down and signaling to the brain that it's time for bed. So reading a book, or like I said, maybe taking a bath before bed, can be a great way to kind of make them signals to the brain. And it's also a good time of day to reflect on what you've achieved in the day as well. That can be quite a positive activity. Most of us, though, will pick up our phone and scroll before bed, and using devices like iPads or phones in the bedroom or before bed can negatively impact sleep. So a small study actually found that the subjects who refrained from using their mobile phone for 30 minutes before bedtime actually had improved mood, as well as sleep duration and quality, and improve their working memory. So there's lots of reasons why we need to kind of ditch the technology and the media before bed and just spend some time winding down. And then other things to kind of bear in mind are, so the Institute of Functional Medicine will recommend that you keep your bedroom clean, cool and dark, and that you ensure that your pillow or mattress are nice and comfy, just to kind of give you the best chance to optimize your sleep. And then finally, you need to kind of think about avoiding sleep disruptors. So things like alcohol, not only are they adversely associated with our mood, but they also can interrupt our sleep quality. So many of us might use alcohol as something to kind of beat the blues or unwind from a stressful day, but that's potentially not going to be helpful, particularly when you're trying to get a good night's sleep to improve your mental health. And then finally my fourth and final tip is all about self-care. And this is all about, I guess self-care just brings it all together. So that brings that restore, rest and relaxation concept all together. So it's all about establishing boundaries, creating a work-life balance, and ensuring that you prioritise time for yourself. So just remember that being busy is not a badge of honour, particularly when it comes to your health. It's okay to take time for yourself and schedule in some guilt-free me time. So that's all in terms of my restore step on my mood boosting method. But with all this kind of rest and relaxation theme in mind, I've got some exciting news to share with you before I go. So I mentioned earlier that I did a breathwork course with Kirsty Constance Coach at the end of last year, which was just fantastic and amazing. So Kirsty and I have got our heads together and we've agreed to do an Instagram takeover swap, which is just really exciting. So Kirsty will be here on my Instagram page on Tuesday the 2nd of February, and she's just going to help us learn a little bit more about how we can kind of find that restoration, so that whether that be an energizing morning meditation, and then later on she's going to talk us through the benefits of breath work and how that will help us to find balance. So there's more details on that to come tomorrow, but I'm super excited. This is one thing you don't want to miss. So save the date, Tuesday the 2nd of February. And you're welcome. You're going to love it, I promise. All right then, that's all from me for now. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.